Imagine standing on a scale that doesn't measure your weight, but instead lets you adjust it. With a simple dial, you could make yourself lighter, heavier, or even completely weightless. Gravity has always been the silent and changing force that pins us to the Earth, shapes the motion of planets, and dictates the structure of the universe itself. But what if we could control it? What if gravity wasn't just a law we obey but a tool we could wield? The implications would be so vast that it would redefine nearly every aspect of our lives, from how we travel to how we build our cities, even how we think about the cosmos. For centuries, gravity was a mystery. Isaac Newton described it as an invisible force pulling objects together, while Einstein reimagined it as the warping of spacetime itself. Yet despite our understanding, gravity has remained beyond our influence, something we experience but cannot manipulate. That might be changing. In recent years, scientists have made strange discoveries, like materials that can levitate in magnetic fields or experiments that suggest subtle gravitational anomalies. While we're far from flipping gravity on and off like a light switch, the possibility is no longer pure fantasy. If we could control gravity, transportation would be the first thing to transform. Cars and airplanes rely on friction, combustion, and aerodynamics, all of which are limited by gravity. But imagine vehicles that simply adjust their own weight, hovering effortlessly above the ground. Traffic jams would vanish as roads give way to open-air travel, with personal pods gliding in three-dimensional space. The biggest revolution, however, would be in space travel. Right now, escaping Earth's gravity requires enormous rockets and fuel, making spaceflight expensive and rare. But if we could reduce or negate gravity's pull, launching into orbit could become as easy as taking an elevator. A trip to Mars might take days instead of months, opening the solar system to exploration and even colonization. Cities would look completely different in a world where gravity is optional. Skyscrapers wouldn't need massive foundations to support their weight. They could float, anchored only by controlled gravitational fields. Entire neighborhoods might hover above the ground, connected by bridges that seem to defy physics. Architects could design structures that twist and curve in impossible ways, freed from the constraints of load-bearing walls. Even sports and entertainment would change. Imagine basketball, where players leap 20 feet in the air, or gymnastics performed in shifting gravity fields, turning athletes into aerial dancers. But with such power comes danger. Gravity manipulation could be weaponized. An enemy could increase gravity in a region, crushing everything beneath an invisible force, or reverse it, sending buildings and people hurtling into the sky. A malfunction in the technology could be catastrophic. What if a city's gravitational field suddenly failed? Would it plummet to the ground or drift uncontrollably into space? And then there's the human body itself. Our muscles, bones, and circulation have evolved under Earth's constant pull. Prolonged exposure to altered gravity, whether stronger or weaker, could weaken our bodies, just as astronauts experience muscle loss in space. Would we need genetic modifications or advanced medicine just to survive in a world where gravity is no longer reliable? Beyond Earth, controlling gravity could unlock cosmic secrets. If we could generate artificial gravity, long-term space habitats would become far more practical, allowing humans to live comfortably on Mars or in orbital colonies. It might even lead to new energy sources. Imagine tapping into the gravitational forces of black holes or creating stable wormholes for near-instant travel across the galaxy. Some physicists believe that mastering gravity could help us finally unite Einstein's theory of relativity with quantum mechanics, solving one of science's greatest mysteries. Of course, we're not there yet. Most attempts to influence gravity remain in the realm of speculation, and many scientists doubt it's even possible. But history has shown that today's impossible ideas often become tomorrow's breakthroughs. Flight, electricity, and the internet were all once considered fantasies before they reshaped civilization. If we ever do crack the code of gravity control, the impact would be greater than all of those combined. So what would you do in a world where gravity is just another adjustable force? Would you leap over buildings for fun, take a weekend trip to the moon, or live in a floating house above the clouds? Or does the thought of tampering with such a fundamental law of nature fill you with unease? One thing is certain: if humanity ever gains control over gravity, the future will be stranger and more spectacular than anything we've ever imagined.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing. Share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.